Why measure social impact? All over Australia, organisations are running programmes to make people's lives better. Whether this be helping people get fitter through subsidised exercise programmes, an educational support programme, or providing a social group to combat loneliness in older people. But one of the big questions for people doing this type of work is how do we know whether these programmes are working? In other words, how do we know the social impact of the programme? In this video, we go through what social impact actually means and why we'd want to measure it. This video is particularly relevant for you if you're working in an organisation making people's lives better or fund such organisations. Social impact measurement evaluates whether a programme is in society's best interests. Really, this breaks down into two key questions. What is in society's best interests? Did the programme achieve this? The social part of social impact measurement refers to trying to figure out the impact on all individuals in society added up, rather than referring to the particular type of impact. Social impact may therefore also include environmental impacts and economic impacts. Essentially, social impact measurement allows you to figure out whether your programme is achieving what you want it to achieve. Let's go through an example. Linda is a project manager at a job training programme. The training programme involves helping people improve their numeracy and their computer skills. She knows some basic statistics about the programme, like how many people attend, how satisfied they are with the class, and how much it costs. The trouble is that these statistics don't really give her an idea of whether the programme is worth continuing or expanding. Linda may want to understand the programme from a different point of view, compare the benefits to the costs, understand whether to allocate more budget to the programme, negotiate with external partners such as the community centre where the activity is held, add robust evidence to a funding bid, or contribute towards an assessment about the whole organisation. Linda realises she needs to ask some different questions. Since the aim of the project is to increase the skills of unemployed people, she needs to ask the participants something to gauge whether this has changed. So she asked the attendees to rate their math skills relative to the average Australian and the extent to which their computer skills meet their current needs. So we have answered the first question of defining what is in society's best interests. For this programme, Linda has defined it as increasing the skills of unemployed people. She may think this is in society's best interest because people may prefer to be more skilled, because people have higher subjective well-being when they have skills which will help them find work. Asking what individuals prefer is known in the industry as the preference valuation method, and asking what would increase people's well-being is known as well-being valuation. Whichever method she chooses, there are ways to measure what improves the welfare of the individual and value the benefits to the individual, which are known as the primary benefits. Linda also knows that increasing the skills of unemployed people is likely to mean that they can get better paying jobs requiring more skills, and that this is likely to lead to increased tax revenue for the government, and so she also estimates the secondary benefits. The second question we need to answer is, did the programme achieve its aim? At first, this question looks very simple. What was the change from before the programme to afterwards? However, it may be that the local college is also running a writing class which involves using a computer, and which some of the Super Skills programme participants are also taking part in, and this helps improve their computer skills also. So really, we're interested in whether the programme was responsible for the change in skills that we see in the participants. There are a few different options for this. We can follow a similar group of people who aren't taking part in the Super Skills programme and see whether they also improved their skills. This group is known as a control group. Ideally, we would randomly allocate the programme so that we don't just get all the keen people participating and the unmotivated people in the control group. If this were the case, we wouldn't know whether our programme was responsible for the skills improvement or just the motivation of the people. Randomly allocating the programme is known as a randomised control trial and is the gold standard way to measure impact. Sometimes randomly allocating people to a programme is not practical or ethical, and so we follow a group of people who are similar in lots of characteristics to measure their skill improvement. A third alternative is to discount the change we see by a dead weight. This is the average percentage change that research on similar programs tells us would have happened anyway. So Linda finds out that out of 100 people who completed the course, 5 participants have improved their numeracy skills and 7 participants gained adequate computer skills. She applies a dead rate of 15% to this value to take into account alternative explanations for the improved skills. According to the wellbeing methodology, 5 participants improving their numeracy skills and 7 participants now having adequate computer skills have a combined value of $38,604 to the individuals. The program also creates $48,764 of value to the government because of the increased tax revenue when the participants go into jobs and use their newly acquired skills. This is a great result for the Super Skills program, but Linda really wants to compare how much benefit the Super Skills program brings in total compared to how much it costs. She knows from administrative data that the program costs $20,000, but she knows that research says that people tend to be a little over-optimistic when estimating how much time something has taken them, and so these costs are likely to be an underestimation. This is known as the optimism bias. She also knows that it's probably not the best use of the money if a full range of alternatives were considered. This is known as the opportunity cost, so she inflates the costs accordingly. As the program creates $87,367 worth of benefits to society and costs $25,920 to run, this creates $61,447 net benefit and a benefit cost ratio of 3.67 to 1. These results signal to Linda that the program is indeed worthwhile, as the net benefit is positive and the benefit cost ratio is above 1, and so the program is definitely worthwhile continuing. She can compare these net benefits to the net benefits of other programs that her organisation may run to see if it's worth reallocating funding to the Super Skills program. Linda can also happily show these results to external funders to ask for more funding and show what a great job they are doing. As you can see, Linda has to estimate how much change would have occurred over the time period even if the individuals had not participated in the program, the opportunity cost and optimism bias, the value to the participants of improving their skills, and how much the government would save if those people improved their skills. Linda is pretty busy, but really wanted the analysis to empower her to make key decisions about the program's future and also communicate its benefits. The Australian Social Value Bank was created for this exact situation. We know lots of people similar to Linda working on some fantastic causes without the means to properly measure their social impact. For this reason, we created a tool which simply asks organisations to send out a before and after survey to estimate how many participants achieve the desired outcome, record the age of the participants and where they live, keep track of their costs. It then calculates the social impact for you. The Australian Social Value Bank is the biggest and most robust tool which models social impact in Australia and the rest of the world, comprising of estimates for the value to the individual and the savings to the Treasury for 62 outcomes on the themes of crime, drugs and alcohol, education, employment, health, social and community, and sport. The values are differentiated by age and region, as we appreciate that a Keep Fit intervention may be very different for 16-year-olds and 65-year-olds. For now, let's go over some key takeaways from this video. We know that social impact measurement evaluates whether the program is in society's best interests. We measure social impact measurement by asking what was in society's best interests. Has the program achieved this? This involves some calculations. We then compare the benefits to the costs. This can be done in a complicated way, but is made easier by existing tools such as the Australian Social Value Bank. This allows us to make better decisions about the impact we want to have.